Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Albums. Today, we're going to take a look at the catalog of a band from Gainesville, Florida. Ironically, they're not a Southern rock band. Well, not really. There are some Southern rockish elements to their music. The band I'm talking about, of course, is Axe, formed in Gainesville, Florida in 1979. They have released throughout the course of their career seven studio records, four of them during their heyday in the 80s, and the other three much, much later on. Their most recent album came out in 2019, which was the final offering. That so far seems to be the final statement from the band, I guess. We'll see if that proves to be the last ever release from them. But seven albums across many, many years. Their debut album came out in 1979, so they've been around for a long time. The original and what is generally deemed as the classic lineup of the band is Bobby Barth on lead guitar, lead and backing vocals, Mike Osborne, the late Mike Osborne on guitar and backing vocals, Edgar Riley, keyboards, backing vocals, Mike Turbin on bass, and Teddy Mueller on drums. I believe Teddy has also passed away in more recent years. So, like I said, we've got seven albums. I'm going to rank them as I like them. You're free to rank these as you like them down in the comments below. The music of Axe. How do you describe the music of Axe? Hard rock, for sure. Some melodic rock and AOR, for sure. A little bit of metal, absolutely. They kind of sound like the product of their times, but really, really good band. This is a band that I always knew about, never really got into until fairly recently. And I will say they're currently one of my favorite new old band discoveries. Great songs, great vocals, a lot of killer guitar work. And I would say the consistency across the catalog is pretty damn good. Many people are going to probably lean towards the classic records from the 80s, late 70s into the early mid 80s. But I would say don't sleep on the three more recent albums they've done because they're pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. In fact, I don't have those in physical copy. I have the original four. But I'm probably going to try and track down those the three newer ones because I think they're worthy of having, and there's some very good material on them. So let's get started with the ranking. Of course, I will start with my number seven and work my way back. And the reason why you're seeing me backwards is because I do need the Prezi app to show a couple of these because I do want you to see the album covers. So my number seven is going to be their most recent album, which I mentioned is Final Offering. Pretty cool album cover. So those of you who have followed the band know that this kind of like axe guitar shows up on a few of their albums. And we'll see that more often as we go through here. So this is the seventh album. This was released on Escape Music. Basically, it's Bobby Barth and a whole new cast of musicians. That seems to be the case on the three final albums, which were spread out over, a few years. And he would just keep changing the lineup. There would be a couple, holdovers from album to album, especially there was a vocalist and keyboard player, whose name is escaping me right now, but I know he'll come up in some of these, and he's very good actually. But some good stuff on here. Born to Lose, killer song. Uh, Definitely has, and again, I'll mention it throughout this ranking today. There is a Southern rock feel at times throughout some of these albums, but more like bands like Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, Doc Holliday. Some of the more commercial stuff I get like a more rockin' 38 special type of vibe. So if you like those bands, I think you'll dig what you'll hear on this. So, this particular song, Born to Lose, has, big heavy guitars, real catchy chorus, some slide guitar in spots. You don't see a lot of slide guitar in this band, but they're in some of the later stuff. There is a little bit here and there. You got Bad Romance, Moody, still a strong song, another really memorable chorus, tasty guitars. Got three guitar players in the band around this time, which is pretty cool. Fire and Stone, another memorable hard rock song. Land of Our Fathers, also pretty solid. Really like it. Make a Dream Last Forever. That's more AOR focused. It's kind of like piano, keyboard driven. It's got a memorable chorus. Not one of my favorites here, but it's pretty good. Then you have Money, which is one of the heaviest songs on the album. Killer guitar riff. Old Scratch is heavy blues rock with a real nasty guitar tone. I love Bobby's guitar tone on all these albums, just really good. Road to Damascus, that's kind of tame. I'm not really a big fan of that one, though. There is a tasty guitar solo and some nice organ in the song, so there is that. Who Will You Run To? Good, strong melodic rock number, another really memorable chorus. And then you got Years Slip Away, which is kind of like an acoustic country blues track. Yeah, not a fan of that at all. And that closes the album. Overall, album's a little long. There's a lot of songs on here. Most of the songs are 5, 6, 7 minutes long. Couple filler tracks, but a good chunk of this is actually very good. And if it's the last album they ever do, I think they went out on a high note. So it's definitely worth tracking out. I will say there's no bad albums in this catalog. I just think maybe just a couple of tracks that just don't really cut the mustard for me on this album, but some really good stuff as well. And like I said, good guitar tones, lots of good guitar playing, some catchy songs. Next up, I'm going to go to their album Five. Always like their logo too. Kind of a boring album cover. I think it was, oh, trying to remember who reissued this album. This was reissued on vinyl. This is their fifth album, came out in 1996 on MTM Music, but I think it was Purple Pyramid maybe or Cleopatra, one of those. Reissued this years later on vinyl and had a kick-ass cover art to it. But this is the original album cover art. So here, Bobby Barth once again. So this is the kind of like the reunion album. So Bobby puts together a new version of the band with a couple guys that were in the band before and some new blood. Um, Magic in Our Eyes, very memorable melodic rock song. Great chorus, great vocal from Bobby. Excellent song. Heroes and Legends, another catchy anthem for the band. A lot of anthems in this catalog. And it's amazing for a later album, like a reunion album, how kind of memorable and classy, like a lot of the arrangements and the vocals are in here. Really, really good. Sting in the Rain, that's kind of bland. But again, nice vocal, nice guitar solo. Life in the Furnace, decent AOR. Burn Me Once, Burn Me Twice is really good. You get Where There's Smoke, There's Fire is cranking hard rock with a great chorus and absolutely scorching guitar licks. Really kick-ass song. Like that a lot. Holding On to the Night, kind of a bland ballad. But Any Place on This Highway is Home rocks hard and is quite melodic. Another really excellent chorus. Really like that one a lot. And then you got a song called Battles, which it ends the album. It's kind of mellow, but it's one of those kind of slow builder songs, kind of like maybe like almost like they're kind of like Freebird type of thing. It starts off, but it has like more like kind of like a Wishbone Ash type of feel. It starts off kind of mellow, but then it starts to build, and man, what a guitar solo it builds up towards the end. So good. To me, this album is basically their AOR melodic rock album. And I think it's a good one. Like I said, a couple tracks that don't really do a lot for me for the most part, full of memorable stuff. Um, and I think it's pretty damn good. And like I said, a lot of memorable songs came out totally in the wrong era. You released this album in like 1986 or so. May have done better business for them. So in 1996, though, yeah, not so much. All right, my number five is going to be Nemesis. I know you're seeing it backwards there, but many of you probably remember that album cover. This got a lot of press back in the day. I remember seeing this advertised in a lot of the magazines at the time. This is a reissue on Wounded Bird Records, but this album was their fourth album, 1983, released on Atco Records, so they were on a major label. The album is kind of like, again, Molly Hatchet meets Blackfoot meets Doc Holliday, but still one foot in classic hard rock. And so it's kind of Southern hard rock in spots, not in others. Heat in the Street kicks it off. Just an ass-kicking song. Roaring guitar tone and soloing. So good. Young Hearts has more of a keyboard presence, but it's a very memorable melodic rock AOR track. Could have been a hit for the band. Probably should have been a hit for the band. I would have easily released that as a single. All Through the Night, solid hard rock song. I think you'll remember tonight. Total AOR cheese, but you know what? It's got hit written all over it. It's a cool song. She's Had the Power, another strong hard rock song. Cool guitar riffs. Girls, Girls, Girls. No, not the Motley Crue song. Is another slice of 80s cheese, but it's loads of fun. Sounds like it could have come from like an 80s movie soundtrack. In fact, there's songs in this early part of the catalog that like you would swear you hear it and you're like, God, wasn't that in a movie? Like some cheesy 80s movie that I saw, like coming of age movie or something like that. A lot of stuff like that on these albums. They're hard rock, but they're just very AOR melodic rock tinged, that sort of thing. Eagle Flies Alone, also similar to Girls, Girls, Girls. It just sounds like something from a soundtrack. Very good. Keep Playing That Rock and Roll is a good, memorable, snarling hard rock anthem. Really dig that. Lots of fun. Fooling Your Mom Again, synth dominated AOR. Not much of a fan of that one. Again, it's clearly aimed at radio, but it's just, to me, it just kind of misses the mark. Let the Music Come Back is very memorable. Masquerade is moody, lots of synths. Not really much going on there. It's kind of a weird way to end the album because it's just well, there's Midnight comes after that as well. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's kind of an uneven album, but there's some winners for sure. And interestingly enough, the band was picked to open up tour for Motley Crue that year after this was released in 1984. And shortly after that, their second guitar player, Michael Osborne, was killed in a car accident. The band kind of fizzled after that for many years. They never recovered. I think, they were kind of hoping this album was going to be a big hit. They got the big tour, and then one of their members was killed, and that was kind of it for like over a decade. So, but yeah, but a good album. It's a little uneven. It's not quite as good as the first batch for me, but it's still pretty good. Number four, I'm going to go with The Crown. So this is their sixth album released in 2000, also on MTM Music. Here you've got Bobby Barth, Edgar Riley Jr., Teddy Mueller, and some new guys. Title track is a great opener. Sounds like Uriah Heep to me. Sounds like more modern Uriah Heep. So if you like the Bernie Shaw era of Uriah Heep, there's some stuff on this album that reminds me of that. I think you'll really dig it. Really good song. Big keyboards, big guitars, roaring vocals, so good. Together We Fly, Together We Fall. Another vibrant song. That one's got slight Southern rock feel. Great chorus. Fire and Water, another potent Heap style rocker. Big chorus, big guitars, big keyboards, very memorable. Gem of a track. Really, really good. Restless Angel sounds like kind of like more recent 38 special output. It's okay, nothing special. Children's Memory rocks hard. Good Times is kind of like a groovy hard rocker. Love the guitar and keyboards. Strong lead vocals by keyboard player Bob Harris. That's the guy I was thinking about before. Bob Harris. He sings lots of lead vocals on these more recent albums. He's very, very good. Great, great voice. Torturous Game, strong melodic rock track. Sunshine Again, Mario song, slow blues rock piece. Kind of strange for this album, but whatever. At least there's some variety here. And Foolish Deception closes. Big riffs, kind of cool bass lines. Some really good bass on this song. And Organ, again, reminded me of 80s and 90s and 2000s Uriah Heep. I think it's a really strong album. To me, it's a lot of people make point to Nemesis as, one of their favorites in this catalog, but I think that The Crown is a little bit stronger overall when you look at all these albums together. All right, so that's I don't need the Prezi anymore because I have physical copies of the rest. So let me close the app so you can see me the right way. Here we go. All right, so number three, I'm going to go with their second album, Living on the Edge. All right, there's the Rock Candy remastered. There they are on the back. See them there. All right. All playing their BC Rich guitars, right? Second album, MCA Records, 1980. Opening title track, ultra memorable. Living on the Edge, great song, great vocal from Bobby Barth. What a chorus. Great guitars, great keyboards. So good. Fantasy of Love has like AOR hit potential all over it. I don't know why that wasn't released as a single. That's a killer song. You got First Time, Last Time is all sorts of groovy. It's almost like some kind of like disco-y style vocals, backing vocals and keyboards on it and synthesizers, but the guitars are heavy. It's weird. It's kind of like hard rock meets disco. Very strange song, but pretty cool. Carry On rocks hard. Still really catchy though. Nice use of synths, big guitars. Like I said, the guitar tones on these albums are amazing. Running the Gauntlet, fast-paced rocker, great guitar riffs on the bluesy cover of I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. You know the song. I know you know it. You'll hear this verse and you'll be like, oh, that's that song. It's done well, right? I guess. Is it needed? Not really. Just Walk Away. Memorable chorus, but kind of a generic song. Let Me Know has some fabulous twin guitars on it, and the song is really, really catchy, and it rocks. Love it. Great stuff. Great vocal harmonies, great arrangement, really good. One of my favorite songs on this album, and one of my favorite songs in the catalog. Don't sleep on it. Really, really good. Save Our Love. And then we've got For a Little While, which also closes the album in kind of upbeat, kind of hard rock fashion. Really good. I think it's a really good album, and it's a really fun album. A lot of good, engaging songs on here. Might rank higher for some people, but number three, hey, it's pretty good. So that is my number three. My number two is going to be the debut, which is simply called Axe from 1979, also on MCA Records. Man, Life's Just an Illusion opens up. What a killer song. It's so it's so instantly catchy, but it rocks. It's got these big meaty guitar riffs. It's got nice use of organ, strong vocals from Bobby Bart. To me, it sounds like a mix of like Uriah Heep and Styx from kind of like maybe a little bit earlier in the decade. Just so good. And that once you hear that chorus, you're like, oh, so good. It's kind of like pop, like heavy pop rock. Really good. To me, it's one of their best songs. It's so good. Really good. Hang On reminds me of late 70s Journey. Right? Think like the Infinity Departure era, that evolution, that sort of thing. Sympathize is like a Southern rock song. It's got some great guitars. The tones are great. The riffs and solos, the whole nine yards. How Come I Love You is catchy melodic rock. Got a real memorable chorus. You got Forever. That's kind of a bland piano ballad, but it's got a nice guitar solo in it, so I'll forgive it a little bit. And then you got Back on the Streets. Solid, moody, hard rock song. Another one of those tracks that you could swear it's like, didn't I see or hear that in a movie? It totally sounds like 80s soundtrack kind of song. Totally, even though this is 1979. Uh, and the guitars are amazing. Sizzling guitars. Doing the Best I Can, another really memorable hard rock song. And then the closer is You're Out of Line, which is pretty heavy. It's got some really great vocals, catchy chorus, keys and guitars working so well together. Really strong debut. Really, really good album. Only bested in this ranking, in this catalog, by what I feel is their kind of magnum opus, and that is Offering from 1982. Atco Records, this is the band's biggest album. You know, it only made it up to number 81 here in the US, but it's considered their big success here somewhat. It's got their killer and probably most well-known song is the opening track, which is Rock and Roll Party in the Streets, which made a dent in the US rock charts. Okay, great song. They also had a crazy video for it. Go check it out. It's very good. It's great. I remember hearing that on the radio back in the day. Very cool song. Um, and Video Inspiration is track number two, which is really cool. That's just another slamming hard rock song, bordering on metal. Some of the stuff on this album is, but I think they were trying to push these guys as a metal band. There are some moments, right? But they're really just a great hard rock band. But there are some metal moments, but there's a lot of AOR melodic rock moments. And I think maybe that was kind of the problem with this band. They weren't quite heavy enough to be a full-on metal band. They were a little too heavy for the melodic rock crowd. Right. So in essence, they were, but for the straight hard rock fans, like, oh, some of that stuff's kind of metal. Oh, some of that stuff's kind of like ballady and melodic rock AOR type of thing. So they kind of like they had almost a little bit of an identity crisis, but whatever they chose to do, they did very, very well. So yeah, Video Inspiration is pretty much one of their metal songs on the album. It's really good. Steal Another Fantasy. It's got some big riffs and keyboards, strong vocals, big Uriah Heep feel on that one. Really like that a lot. Jennifer, quite catchy melodic rock. Love the chorus. Crisp guitars. Another one could have been a hit. Really dig that a lot. They do a ripping cover of Montrose's I Got the Fire. Again, is it needed? Would I have rather had another original track? Sure, but they do a really good job. And I think for me, I Got the Fire is an underrated gem from the Montrose catalog. So it's kind of cool to hear it here. Burn the City Down, another memorable hard rocker. Now or Never was also released as a single. Pretty catchy little anthem. I really like that a lot. Didn't do all that well, but you can see that that had the potential to be something for them. Holding On, fast-paced heavy rock song. Love the riffing, love the guitar soloing. I mean, Bobby, very talented guy, really talented guy. And what a killer guitar. I've said it before, I'll say it again. What a killer guitar tone he had on all these albums. So good. And then the album closes with the big, meaty hard rock of Silent Soldiers. which has more of that molten guitar work from Bobby. One of the best songs on the album. Classic stuff here, an absolutely unknown gem. That is my pick for number one. Offering from Axe. Number two, I'm going to go with self-titled debut. Number three, I'm going to go with Living on the Edge. Number four, I'm going to go with The Crown from 2000. Number five, I'm going to go with Nemesis. Number six, I'm going to go with Five. And then at number seven, I'm going to go with Final Offering, their final album. So that is my ranking for the music of Axe, the catalog of Axe. I am so happy to kind of like discover this band. I have to thank Rock Candy because, quite frankly, that's how this happened. I was actually a couple months ago placing an order with Rock Candy and looking on their website and seeing all their Axe reissues, the three of them anyway, and thinking, yeah, God, I remember that band, but I never listened. So I went and listened to a couple songs, and I listened to Rock and Roll Party in the Streets, and I hadn't heard it in a million years. I'm like, oh, I always liked this so much. Why did I never get any of their albums? I'm like, you know what? Screw it, I'm going to do it. So I bought the four ones you can get pretty easily. I didn't get the three latest because they are a little harder to track down, but I think I'm going to do so because they're well worth having, and I do like quite a lot of what's on those. So yeah. So if you haven't listened to this band in quite a long time, now's the time to do so once again and dive back into the music. And can I mention again that cool logo? I really dig that, as opposed to the logo on the first two albums, which absolutely sucks. Right, that blows. But yeah, the logo that they used later on, starting with the third album, that's the way to go. So yeah, let us know how you would rank these albums down in the comments below, and we'll see you next time here on Ranking the Albums. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options, all down below. Thanks in advance for all your support there. And I failed to mention, see, when I do it too fast, I fail to mention the Instagram account. Please come check us out on Instagram. We've got well over 500 followers already and over 34,000 views in just like a couple weeks. Pretty crazy, right? So I'm posting stuff there pretty much daily. So lots of stuff to check out there on Instagram. People love it. So we'll continue doing it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody. And we'll see you next week here on Ranking the Albums. What is the Ranking the Albums next week? I'm not quite sure yet. We shall see. But coming up here on the channel this week, we've got the next installment of Talkin' Jazz. I'm getting back together with Mike Antonelli, and we're going to talk about our favorite 10 albums released on the Blue Note label. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of Blue Note Records and talk about some of our favorite releases on Blue Note. So that's coming up this week. We've also got the next installment of The Monsters Den happening this week as well. We're going to rank the franchise, the Wishmaster franchise, four albums, four movies. We're going to rank them as we like them. So we're all rewatching Wishmaster films, and that'll be coming up on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. We got Friday Morning the Funhouse coming back this week as well with Martin Popoff. We've got Professor's Picks. We've got Jamie Laszlo and the review crew. And like I said, another ranking the album show. I'm not 100% sure what that is yet, but we'll put it together over the next few days and figure it all out. So I'll let you know. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. Because Gary, I know you want to know immediately. So yeah, so that's all coming up real soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.